Hey, what's up? How's it going? You ready? Let's get started, shall we? Okay, we all know that this quarantine thing really sucks, right? And a lot of people are finding themselves depressed. You poor soul, I'm sorry. So what is it? Is it quarantine that's causing depression, or is it the lack of social interaction? Guess what? We can test that, yo! We can use statistics, ha 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 ha! This sort of analysis is what we call a mediation analysis. Mediation asks whether the relationship between one variable and another, in this case quarantine and depression, is caused not by depression, but by some other variable, in this case social interactions. So that's mediation. But you know what? Mediation is just conditioning. Remember my conditioning video? That was a great video. Great video. But seriously, mediation is just a complex form of conditioning. So remember that mediation would ask, what is the effect of quarantine on depression after controlling for social interaction? That's very similar to what we're asking with mediation. But there's a very slight difference between the two. So with a conditioning analysis, we're really only interested in the net effect of the interest variable on the outcome. So in this case, we're really only caring about the effect of quarantine on depression. We don't care about social interactions. Whereas with mediation, we are interested in the difference before versus after conditioning. So again, with a conditioning analysis, we're interested in the net effect of one variable after controlling for the variable we don't care about, whereas in mediation, we're interested in the difference of the effect before versus after controlling. And traditionally, when you learn about mediation, you're told it's a 3-step process. And maybe you're shown a diagram like this. And so the first step is to build a simple model looking at quarantine and depression. And the idea is if we see no relationship between the two, then we probably don't need to move on any further. Now it's actually a little bit more complicated than that, and I'm not gonna get into the details, but that's the basic idea. And normally under traditional statistics, you would determine there is an effect by the p-value if it's statistically significant. So that's step 1. Step 2, we build a model between our variable of interest and the mediator. So in this case, that would be between quarantine and social interaction. And again, the idea is if those two variables aren't even related at all, then there's no point in continuing on with mediation. It is not a mediator. And once again, this is usually determined by a p-value. If that relationship is statistically significant, then we can then move on to step 3. And what is step 3, you ask? Step 3 is we build the entire model. So in this case, we would build a model where we are predicting depression from quarantine and social interaction. And then what we can compute is how big the slope is in this model versus the slope in this model. And if it's the same, if the slope doesn't change at all, there is no mediation whatsoever. If the new slope is 0, on the other hand, we call that full mediation. And basically what that means is the effect between quarantine and depression is 100% explained by social interactions. By the way, it's very rare to find full mediation. More likely, you're gonna find what's called partial mediation. Basically, what that means is the simple bivariate relationship between quarantine and depression is smaller than it is in the model where we model everything all at once. And again, that's called partial mediation. And normally, you would determine whether you have full or partial mediation using what's called a bootstrapping procedure. I'm not gonna go into details, but long story short, it's a resampling technique. So let's do a traditional analysis, shall we? Welcome to my R screen. So what we're going to do, again, we're doing a traditional analysis here. So we're gonna use the mediation package, which is available in R. If you don't have that, you can, of course, go install.packages, mediation. But I already have, so I'm not gonna do that again. So we have mediation, we're gonna require that, and then we're gonna run the line. Remember, like I said, it's a 3-step process. Now in actuality, you don't need the first step. So we're just gonna start with step 2. In fact, maybe I'll put a note, step 2. Predict the mediator with the variable of interest. So we're going to build the first model, and if we were doing a traditional analysis, we might go summary mediate underscore model. And we get a negative slope, so that is saying that the relationship between quarantine and social interaction is negative. And of course we could visualize that with flexplot, mediate underscore model. Although if you're doing this at home, you might want to require flexplot. And so it's not entirely necessary to visualize this model, although I like to visualize things, so I'm gonna do it anyway. And holy moly, we get a very strong slope between those. And that makes sense. So maybe this is self-reported quarantine. How much do you quarantine? And obviously those who are quarantined probably have less opportunities for social interaction. And so we see this negative relationship. Not surprising there. So that's step 2. Now we're gonna go ahead and jump to step 3, fit the whole model. And I just call mine the full model. And of course we can go summary full underscore model if we wanted to. And we see that quarantine now in the presence of social interaction is not statistically significant. And if we're using the standard definition of what a mediating effect, then we actually have full mediation here. So, if you wanted to do that within the mediate package, you could do it this way. And that'll give you bootstrapped estimates and confidence intervals and that sort of thing. It's gonna take a little bit because it is bootstrapping. If anybody is interested in me doing a bootstrapping video, I'm happy to do so. I don't think I've ever done that yet. Just let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. And then if you were to run that, it just gives a lot of information which you don't need. So instead you could just go to summary, results, and I'll make this bigger so we can see what's going on. So we got the total effect here, which represents the slope if we were just to fit the model with the predictor and the outcome. So that slope would equal 0.75, and that's basically just ignoring the mediator. The average direct effect is the net effect of quarantine on depression once we subtract out the mediator effect, and so we get a negative 0.34. And then ACME is basically the mediation effect, or the strength of the mediation effect there. How much does it change once you include the mediator in the model? And so what we see is that the total effect is statistically significant, not surprising, and the mediator is statistically significant using a parametric bootstrapping. So that's the traditional way of handling this sort of analysis. One thing that is missing that I think we need is we need some visuals. So let's talk about the flexplot approach. Remember, the flexplot approach says that every single statistical model needs to be visualized. And I haven't ever seen anybody talk about visuals for mediation analysis. Now remember, when we want to visualize statistical models, it's important for the visuals to match the statistical models. So how do we produce a visual that matches a mediation analysis? Well, first we have to think about the research question. Remember, the research question is asking how much the effect of quarantine on depression changes before versus after the mediator. Or you can think about that in terms of a slope. So we had a slope before the mediator, we have a slope after the mediator, and we want to look at the difference in those slopes. So how do we visualize this? We can visualize this with added variable plots. Remember that added variable plots show us the effect of a variable after we've done some conditioning, and that's exactly what a mediation analysis is it's some sort of conditioning effect. So as an example, in this data set, I have a variable for exercise. So let's look at the added variable plot for the exercise effect. So maybe you want to look at the effect of quarantine on depression once you control for exercise. So we could go added.plot, and we do depression tilde exercise plus quarantine, data equals D. And then if I were to plot that, let me go ahead and make it a straight line, method equals LM. So what is this showing me? This is showing me the effect of quarantine on depression once we control for the influence of exercise. And if you don't know about added variable plots, I will link in the description an explanation of what added variable plots are, but this is a visual representation of conditioning. But this is not conditioning, this is mediation. And of course, in mediation, we want to know the difference in the slopes. So how do we do that? To do that in R, we're going to use a brand new function called the mediate_plot function. And that looks exactly like the added variable plot function, except we're just going to use a different name. So mediate_plot. And we're going to put the exact same formula in there as before. Although we don't need method equals LM. And just like before, the last variable entered is going to show up on the x-axis. The other variables are going to be our mediator. So in this case, we're going to use social interaction as our mediator. And if I plot that, we get something that looks like the plot on the right. And so the red line shows us the model before mediation. And the blue line shows us the model after mediation. And so the difference between those two lines is the mediating effect. And so we have the rare situation here where we basically have full mediation. So it looks like the relationship between quarantine and depression is almost entirely mediated with social interaction. In fact, once we control for social interaction, the slope between quarantine and depression actually kind of goes down, which is kind of interesting. Although it's probably just random chance. And actually it is random chance because I simulated these data to give full mediation. And of course, we could also look at an example where we don't have full mediation. So instead of social, let's go ahead and put in exercise instead. And so now notice the y-axis has changed. Instead of saying it's conditioning on social, it's now saying it's conditioning on exercise. And the red line is what it was before. That is the direct effect. And then this is the mediating slope. And so we see a small difference. So we have partial mediation in this case. So hopefully that's a very quick introduction to mediation analysis, both the old way and the flexplot way. Again, the flexplot way is much more interested in the visuals. And so we saw examples of partial mediation and full mediation. And in time, not yet, but in time, I expect that the mediation plots will be available for logistic regression models and Poisson models and mixed models and that sort of thing. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe and all that jazz so you can know about flexplot updates. Until next time.